Once upon a time, in a cozy little village, there lived a clever raccoon named Rocky. Rocky was known for his love of cookies. He could smell them from miles away. Every Saturday, the villagers baked delicious cookies and set them out to cool on their windowsills. Rocky couldn't resist the sweet aroma wafting through the air. One sunny Saturday morning, as Rocky wandered through the village, he caught a whiff of something extraordinary: chocolate chip cookies. His nose twitched with excitement. "I must have one," he exclaimed. Rocky followed the scent to Mrs. Baker's house, where she had just pulled a fresh batch of cookies from the oven. The warm, gooey treats were sitting on the windowsill, glistening in the sunlight. "Oh, they look so delicious," Rocky said to himself, but just as he was about to sneak up to grab one, he heard a voice. "Stop right there, Rocky." It was Bella the Bluebird, perched on a nearby branch. "You can't just take Mrs. Baker's cookies." Rocky sighed. "I know, Bella, but they smell so good. I can't help myself." Bella thought for a moment and then had an idea. "What if we ask Mrs. Baker if we can help her bake? Then we can enjoy the cookies together." Rocky's eyes lit up. "That's a great idea. Let's do it." The two friends scampered over to Mrs. Baker's door and knocked. The kind old lady opened the door with a smile. "Well, hello there. What brings you two here?" "Mrs. Baker," Rocky said eagerly, "we'd love to help you bake cookies. We promise to be good helpers." Mrs. Baker chuckled and nodded. "I could use some extra hands in the kitchen. Come on in." Inside the warm kitchen, the smell of vanilla and chocolate filled the air. Mrs. Baker showed Rocky and Bella how to mix flour, sugar, and chocolate chips in a big bowl. They took turns stirring and giggling as flour dusted their noses. As they worked together, they shared stories about their favorite cookie flavors. Bella loved blueberry muffins while Rocky preferred anything with chocolate. They laughed and sang songs while baking, making it a fun-filled afternoon. Finally, it was time to put the cookies in the oven. "Now we wait," Mrs. Baker said with a twinkle in her eye. While they waited, Rocky and Bella helped clean up the kitchen. They washed dishes and wiped counters until everything sparkled. Ding! The oven timer went off, and Mrs. Baker opened the oven door to reveal golden brown cookies that looked even more delicious than before. Mrs. Baker said as she placed the cookies on a cooling rack. Rocky and Bella couldn't wait any longer. They each grabbed a warm cookie and took a big bite. "Mmm. These are amazing," Rocky exclaimed with crumbs on his face. Bella chirped happily, "We did it together. This is so much fun." After enjoying their treats, Mrs. Baker smiled at her new friends. "Thank you for your help today. You both did wonderfully." Rocky grinned from ear to ear. "Thank you for letting us help. Can we come back next week?" "Of course," Mrs. Baker replied warmly. From that day on, every Saturday became a special day for Rocky and Bella as they helped Mrs. Baker bake cookies together.